Hello, everybody. Forgot to put myself in the stream there, which was a bad one. Today we're going to be joined by the good people of the Sunshine Cooperative to tell about their work. I think they're having a bit of trouble logging on, so I thought I'd just start anyway. It's 12 o'clock, have a bit of a chat with us, and obviously let people come into the live stream. I see people are starting to join already. If you would like, let me know in the comments where you are, who's here. That would be spot on. So I just wanted to do a little bit before the lasses turn up. Hopefully they do. Otherwise, this will be the shortest live stream ever because I've prepped for this one. So yes, firstly this week, thank you to everybody for all your kind support and particularly around the one that I did on bereavement. It's been a bit of a funny old week, and I think a delayed reaction to a bereavement from 3.5 years ago, as you would know if you watched or listened to that show. My throat's a bit dicey as well, and it's probably all the crying I did the other night. But as we spoke about on that show, get rid of the stress hormone cortisol out of your tear ducts, and you'll have a better time. I just wanted to reassure you I'm on the up, and I'm really grateful that yous are helpful and yous are just there for us, I guess. Obviously, this will be the last show of this week, and I'm just going to have a good rest this weekend and just switch off from milk to cow. I think that's probably the best thing for us. So, again, thank you very much. Also, what we will do is this, as usual. If StreamYard does, I think this is the lasses turning up. Lasses, if you can hear us, I'm just going to do my intro, and I'll bring you in a minute. Can you hear us? Aye, cool, right. If you want to support our work, go to patreon.com/cowdaily. That's patreon.com/cowdaily. Been blown away with the response this week, and I'm really grateful for it. Thank you very much. We all are. Also, just want to big up some of you guys who are helping. As you can see, running across the screen there. I've tried to work out a way of getting everybody on the screen. A few new people to mention as well. Carl Hampton, Neil Fish, Karen W, Big Bob Grady. There's more to go on as well, but I just haven't had the time to do it. It'll be there for Monday for you, and thank you very much for stepping up as you have. Without further ado, I'll bring in the people who would possibly be late for their own funeral.
Were we late? Oh man, so sorry. We were trying to get the Bluetooth earphones working. It was horrendous. And then we've both got Macs, and then we've got that wouldn't load up because we didn't have Google Chrome, and so then we've got like laptops that we use for our trainees. So we've got Anyway, we're here. Sorry.
Ask you, did your dog eat your homework as well at school?
Yeah.
Nah, it's all good, man. It's all good. I moved it on 5 minutes. It's fine. But really happy that you are here. Like, for the viewers, what's your names? Because you've got Sunshine Cooperative on the screen.
Hi, I'm Claire.
Hello, Claire.
And I'm Andrea.
Anna Yee.
You know me.
I do. You're never off our social media, which is a good thing. We're really happy.
Yeah.
Right, I've got a few questions
you've got lots of
for you,
good
right?
things to say, Mike, haven't you? You know, so
always, mate. Always.
Yes.
You know, we're the best around.
You are.
I'm just going to pull me questions for you up because I was trying to message you there and I'm not on the right screen. 2 seconds. Right, got it here. Sunshine Cooperative, dead simple. What is it? What is it?
It's a local food cooperative. So
in which place?
We're in Sunderland.
Mm-hmm.
We started off as an online delivery service, which we still do. Now we have a shop. It's on High Street West in Sunderland.
I know it well.
Next door to Pop Rex, which is also a kick next door. And really, we're all about local. We think reviving local economy is the way forward. You know, every pound spent in your local economy just circulates. I think it's 10 times or whatever. Anyway, we're just not interested in our money going back to huge corporations.
Music to my ears. Absolutely fantastic. Neither am I.
You know, and I think
I'm just going to get me sound level right. 2 seconds. We would have done this before we went on screen, but
sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. Right. Just talk for us a minute. Just say anything you like, and I'll just get it right.
You know, the idea is like we all can make a we can all make a difference. And I said this to my son last night. I forgot what we were talking about, but he said something. And I said, well, said 8 million other people. Yes, you can. you know, and his eyes kind of went, there was like a recognition there.
Yeah,
for
for sure.
Bless him. And he was like, oh, yeah. So the idea is if we all start changing our habits, and ours is about food, changing food habits, then we actually do make a difference. And the more people do that, and you start getting together collectively to do that, the bigger impact you have. Now
no doubt about it, mate. Yeah, for sure. I mean, to tell a bit about the cooperative model, because I think people think it and they just think it's the co-op, you know, the co-op food store, especially in the Northeast. And it's not, is it? So what's the difference?
So we're very small. We've only been going 4 years. So the idea of the cooperative for us is about collaboration and cooperation. And it's about not seeing other people as your competitor or as opposition, but as actually potential partners.
Great.
And not everyone gets that, and that's fine. Not everyone is supposed to be doing what we're doing. But if we can be the person that goes like, okay, I think we could work together. And then we look at how we can do that. It's about creating partnerships. And, you know, the idea of the cooperative, we're also a social enterprise as well. So it's a cooperative KIC, which is a community interest company. So that means it's non-for-profit, or whatever profits we do have go back into the community. And we'll talk about that a bit later. But the idea of the cooperative is whenever someone else comes on board, for example, to begin with, it was me and my husband, Wojtek. And then our friend Tracy came on board as a director, and then another guy we know, friend Sean, came on. And every time I bring someone on, they bring in different ideas. So Tracy, for example, is a dancer, gong, you know, she does gong practitioner, her partner does gong. So we've come up with a program that where we do dance, movement, come together in celebration through food. That's a program we've gotten funding for. And then when we started the shop, and a training program that we'll go into later as well, we brought on board Andrea, who's got really good knowledge about kind of getting people into work, which is what it's about.
Andrea, do you want to tell us a little bit about that element of the cooperative, please?
I'm ex-DWP, ex-Ministry of Defence, and I had a little bit of a wobble about, we've talked about this before, I had a wobble about 4 years ago. My daughter was caught up in the bombing in Manchester, and I was working in Manchester at the time, and just things just got a hold, and the pressures of being a senior civil servant and all of that and I just left, and I went back to university to study psychology, which I'm still doing, and lockdown happened, and then I had a massive, that's when I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. And then the opportunity came up here. It was just an off-chance thing on Facebook that I saw and came for the interview, and of course me and Claire are completely on the same page in lots of different ways, politically, socially, emotionally, all of those things. And so the program that we're running, and I was brought in for, was because of lots of different things that I can bring to it, but the bulk of it was because of the DWP thing and the work element and my psychology and my interviewing stuff, is that I can talk to people about how to get back into work. We talk to them about, for instance, we've had a couple of the trainees come in, and unbelievably, believe on it, this is the truth, isn't it? I'm going to tell you, they were told by training providers that DWP support that you will only get the job if you phone up after the interview, because they only give the jobs to the ones that phone up, because that means you give them monkeys. Right. And I went, what? What was the other one that they was saying about? You're not allowed to take notes into an interview with you because it makes you look stupid.
That's crazy.
I used
to work on, the government's New Deal program. I used to be an advisor on that years ago.
No, you were not.
I was one of the cool ones in plain clothes, though, and I would work with the hard to reach eye. I was like, come on, Hepcats. I was like a proper beat poet, I was.
Well, you know what it's like then. These providers that are coming in, and this mandated provision is still not fit for purpose.
It was bad then. I can't even imagine what fresh hell it is now.
It's just as bad now. It's the same few people with their troughs, their noses in the troughs,
Mhm.
and then they subcontract it out to, you know, these third, fourth parties, you know, way down the line. And yeah, the CVs we've seen, it's generic. You know, we've got 2 lads that have never worked.
Mhm.
Really lovely guys. 3, yeah. The CVs, the personal statement says exactly the same on each one of them. I'm
Oh,
hardworking
God.
on this, I'm that. And I was like, but how are you hardworking? You've never had a job. So one of the guys is interested in being a barista. He's really passionate about food. So I said to him, tell me about your passions. Put your passion in that statement. Yeah, but that's not what they told me to do. I said, please I need you to forget all of that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's about being honest. It's about, for us, our ethos is we give people a cuddle when they walk in the door. If you want a physical cuddle, you can have one, you know, but mostly it's about being kind and being an employer that we want to work for.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we've
got you.
been in situations where we've been in jobs that, you know, where you've learned, yeah, there's positives in them, absolutely, but we've also learned what not to do, what we don't want to see in the world, or what we don't want to be in the world, and we're trying to like write that in our way or come up with new solutions. So sunshine, you know, it's about, we've got a hashtag, it's called Creating Sunshine, because you have to create it yourself. We have to create it ourselves. No one else is going to come and create it for you.
So what I'm interested in, you've got like different elements within the cooperative. What's its sort of primary sort of focus? Do you have like a mission statement or something? Yeah.
It's to help, well, I'm probably not going to say it verbatim, but it's basically to help people thrive. Using food and health and well-being is like the avenue to do that.
Yeah. I mean, and how do you find that with the people in Sunderland? I'm from Gateshead, and the places might as well be a mirror image of each other, even though people would never admit it because of football. But it is. I used to be a community worker in Grindon 1 day a week. I used to work across the northeast, and I love Sunderland. I absolutely do, and I make no bones about it. I think the people are absolutely class, and I get pelters for saying this of people who are tickled by football, but I don't care. One of my best mates, he's a Sunderland season ticket holder. He's working the community around there as well. Really great lad. And I think what my point is, in Gateshead, like trying to lead a horse to water and making them drink with in terms of like healthy living, it's been hard traditionally. So what challenges have you faced, if any?
I wouldn't say it's any easier here. It is a hard thing. Because you actually have to start changing habits. So you have to show people how to change those habits and that it's actually possible, because some people don't think it is possible. So that's always challenging. It has been challenging since the very beginning. You know, what you eat has an effect on your body. What you eat has an effect on the environment. What you eat has an effect on the economy. And we go at that from a whole local perspective, you know, because that's what we're about. It's like local people, local food, local place, you know. So it's difficult, it's challenging. But it's
Look
not
at that stuff though. That's good gear though, isn't it?
But do you know what else we do? We do Taste Test Fridays. So I'm going to say, you know what, we've forgone our Taste Test Friday to spend it with you. We should have done a Taste Test Friday.
Oh my God. We'll do one later.
Yeah. And it's usually me and Claire talking gibberish just about life and stuff. And they're all on. I'm going to speak to you later, actually, because I need to know how to use the YouTube channel properly, because I haven't got a clue.
Totally, mate. I mean, like I've had to teach myself how to do this. My skill set is talking. It's certainly not this tech, but I've just battered through it, you know, and eventually got there, you know.
So we do Taste Test Friday, and it's usually we'll pick something up. We use it as our lunchtime, and we'll pick some of the pickles or some of the cheese, or I'll make something with some of the vegetables. I'll make a soup, because I'm not only am I the face of, I'm the social media jester.
Cool.
We're on just a little plug there. We're on what else are we on? We're on TikTok, and I love TikTok because it does amazing filters and makes me look about 25 again. So that's great.
When she puts it on me, I look like Barbie on acid.
I've got tremendous light in here. Brilliant lighting.
So we do that, but then it's sort of developed because I'm a proper foodie and I've done a lot of cooking and I'm an advocate for healthy eating and for cooking from scratch. It's been a passion of mine for a long time. So we show people that cauliflower that looks like it's going to go in the bin, you can make a soup with it, and this is what you do. So we'll do live cooking as well, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
That was what I was going to ask you. Like,
new training coming in. Sorry, carry on.
That was what I was going to ask you, because I did used to run like a cookery session back in the day with young people at a project that I was part of in North Shields, and I was very surprised at like sort of the lack of cooking skills in certainly in young people, but just in general in the community. And obviously there's a local Iceland there, and you could get a pizza for £1. So people would like, we had a kitchen and people would come in bringing pizzas, and that's where we got it from. And we're just like, you can eat much healthier, like for around about the same money. So that's where it started coming from. So I was dead interested in hearing like how that's working for you now,
It is because we talk to people about, because it's organic and because it's the produce.
Hold on, I've got a needy dog here. 2 seconds.
Oh, it's all right.
This is Scrappy. Sorry, keep talking.
Oh.
He hasn't got a tooth in his head.
I was going to say much like the men I've dated in the past, but what I'm dating, so it's all right. So there's stuff in the shop. We work with a lot of the local. Well, it is all locally produced stuff, and it's incredible. And it's a little bit more expensive than the stuff you're buying in the supermarkets, but we try and say to people, it's the quality. And when you buy this is what you're supporting. And again, we've got the refill stations with the dried goods, and we do also the liquid refills. The liquid refills, but with a company called Minimal. They're amazing, those guys, because it is properly organic. It is properly
not organic.
Not organic. No, but do you know what I mean? It's all natural, and
there's no nasties in there.
Great.
And they recycle everything, and it's reused, and they're amazing. But it's showing people that they can come in, and if they've only got £1 in their purse, they can buy 20 pence worth of washing up liquid. They don't have to go and buy. Do you know what I mean? And it's saying that to people. We have regular customers come in throughout the week, and they'll buy like 1 carrot, 2 potatoes, because that's all they need.
That's what they're cooking that day, that night. And
that's great. That, and I mean, people,
this onion, blah blah blah. And
people need to understand as well. Like in countries like France, that's absolutely normal. People will go and do that every day. It wouldn't, but for us, it kind of stands out, and it's like, well, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
And it's actually nothing at all. It's actually abnormal to be doing it differently. We want fresh food, don't we?
We don't want to waste it as well, and that's
exactly.
The thing. We don't want to. Have that stuff sitting in your fridge, and then by the time you get around to it, it's gone off. So just. You've
reminded us I've got a courgette in the fridge that we need sorting. It's like well on the turn. Like 2 seconds, Scrappy, you're messing this up. Go on, son. Good boy. Sorry about that. He's just a very needy lad. My partner's away at the minute, so it's like he's just clamped to us at all times. He's like a little doll. I've got a border collie, like a proper hard lad,
I've got a bulldog. Mine is a proper hard dog.
Yeah. Many dogs. So I don't know.
It's about doing all of that stuff, and we're getting bringing people on board to do it. We've worked with other foodies. They've come in and done like Nadia's done the Moroccan food. She's amazing.
Oh, I love Moroccan food.
Namaste Nima. She's come in and done Indian food. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing a lot of stuff in the Northeast as well, at the food markets and things. Who else have we worked with?
Mostly you now.
Yeah, we've got our new trainee, Jack. Hi, Jack, if you're watching. He won't be watching, but he'll watch it back. Cool. He's come from Grace House. So for anybody who's not local, Grace House was on the Rickshaw Challenge for Children in Need this year.
Right.
And they're a really amazing organisation that works with young people with autism or just with just learning?
Yeah, I think that in the past, I'm not sure exactly, but they've been like a kind of rest house for, also for relatives.
Yeah.
Who, they might have sick children or with any kind of issues, and they're really supportive around families. And they also have a program where they're trying to help give young people some skills, within Grace House, but then they're also coming to other organisations like ourselves and bringing young people, giving them, you know, work, life experiences outside of Grace House as well.
That's the one. Like, I mean, in terms of, you know, obviously the cost of living, well, it's a scandal. I don't want to call it crisis because it's
Yeah.
like it's a policy choice. Let's have it right.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's got, you know, how's that impacting? Because we know ourselves in the Northeast, particularly in places like Sunderland, austerity didn't start with David Cameron. It's been going on for decades before. So how is this impacting now that it's even more exacerbated in these times?
Well, I'm not going to lie, it has impacted sales, particularly our online sales, I would say, because the shop's relatively new and that's kind of, it's building, if you see what I mean, even though it could be better, with more people are getting to know us, so it is increasing slightly as we go along, because it's only been a year. And we have had messages from people saying, we love it, but we've made a decision that this has to go, which is always a shame.
Totally, Nick. Yeah.
But we also, it's understandable. But also, things like this don't put me off. It doesn't make me think, oh my God, you know, I don't go into fear mode. Or if I do go into fear mode, I quickly sort myself out within a minute or two.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's policies from above are never really for our benefit. So I'm not going to let that layer who think they're above of society kind of dictate how I feel about myself and how I feel about people around me. They don't have that power over me.
Exactly. I mean, it puts us in mind of this.
No?
Have you ever heard of this guy, Buckminster Fuller?
No.
The people listening on the Spotify, it's you never change things by fighting the existing reality to change something. Build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Now, Buckminster was...
this is my modus operandi.
There you go. You can have that for free.
Thank you.
Steal that. Because based on that, this is how I see it. So you've got current system and you've got Sunshine Cooperative. Right now, Sunshine Cooperative is behind, right? But it's creating new ways of doing things. You know, we're going ahead thinking, this is how we think we can be prosperous, how we can thrive. So it's kind of doing this. And then you see the other side, and I just see it slowly drifting off into the sunset until there's only things like what we've created from the ground up. Because what's being created from the top down, it's all about control. It's how to control us. Yeah. Whereas actually we take that, you know, that back and start controlling how we want to live, how we want to. What do we think society should look like?
Exactly, and that's from I can relate to that because we're building new media. It's not just through Milk the Cow; it's through the Independent Media Association. We're working on loads of different things, and it's for me. I'm guided by the quote here. We've got to build our own things that exist outside of the existing system, and then, as you said, cooperate with each other. When you like, part of what you do is to cooperate and find new links, and part of what we're doing today is exactly that. Like, we're using our reach to amplify what you're doing, and I'm benefiting from hearing about what you're saying, and hopefully people out there will too. And it's just like this positive feedback loop that we all work together and build, isn't it? And
on that point, can I, because our business is all about kind of being sustainable and looking at sustainable ways of living. And that's not based on a corporate green agenda.
Yeah.
That's based on common sense and actually wanting this world to be a better place, not because some guy has decided on his way to, I don't know, some big meeting and jet that we need to pay more taxes to fund some kind of corporate green agenda. That's not what we're about at all.
Yeah, totally.
He talks about this, don't you? Was there not something this week we were talking about, like voting green or voting whatever? And it's like, well, none of them are going to fix this for us. None of them, because they all dump in the same bloody. I'm trying not to swear because I'm trying to be professional under Sunshine.
Got you, but you know you can here because I swear all the time. So if you want. When I'm angry, I swear. When I'm not angry, I also swear.
Well, I've got Tourette's. Sometimes it's just. But and what was I saying? I've gone off on a tangent there. What were we saying?
About the green agenda.
Oh, the green agenda. Yeah, about, you know, nobody's going to fix it for us. You know, that conversation we had with Liam earlier on, we were also linked with another. We need to come back with all
There's
these
so many
other
wonderful
people.
humans around that want to do stuff. We just had a
definitely. There's some people in the comments. John O.C., you do a thing that helps people, others see that it works, they do a thing that helps people, and that's the feedback loop, that the positive feedback loop, isn't it?
Thanks,
Absolutely
Jenna.
getting it. Jacqueline Hemmons, I'll just take a few comments, mate.
Yeah, sorry.
Doing a daily local shop would cost me a fortune in bus fare. The only shop close to me is either a convenience store, which is really expensive, or Tesco. Like, how would you respond to that, like, from your expertise?
Well, if you don't see it and you want something, go out and do it, create it. That's what we did. There was nothing like this in Sunderland. So instead of kind of, and I don't mean this dismissively, but instead of just kind of bit moaning about it, I was like, okay, someone's going to do it. Why not us? So if you see something in your area, in your life that you don't like, it's actually up to you to fix it.
Agreed.
Or support someone who is fixing it if that's not your passion. So it's you've got to get round to the idea that no one else is going to fix it for you.
I think that lady's saying as well about doing a daily shop. We have people not doing a daily shopping here. We have people come in once a week to pick up a cup, just the veggies that they need for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And it is cheaper than going to a supermarket. I bought some carrots from that place that it starts with A and ends in I a couple of weeks ago because I hadn't been into work, and they were rotten in the bag within 2 days. Now I'll get stuff. I do buy my veggies from here, but Claire will on a Saturday go, Andrew, can you do anything with these? And it'll be the stuff that's maybe a bit flaccid. Wednesday, when the veg delivery comes in, Maggie, who's our the other lady that works in the shop with us, she'll go, I'm not putting that in the box. So they usually left to one side, and I'll go,
we got all the really, really, really wanted.
What can you do with that? And I'll go, yeah, I'll make us a soup, or I'll make something with it, and then I'll make it and bring it in here. So it's why, again, I'm talking and I'm rabbiting on.
We're talking about it doesn't have to just be a daily shop.
Yeah, it's not a daily shop. It's a weekly thing, you know, and you can make it as cheap or as expensive as you want.
I agree.
It's about that, buying those odd bits and bobs, you know, as opposed to going into a supermarket and having to buy a kilo of carrots or a kilo of this or a kilo of that.
Totally, mate. I'll just take a few more from the comments here. Bob Grady's here. He shops local wherever I can, and it's a really important thing to do. I think, Claire, you mentioned earlier in this about, like, if we spend locally, that pound goes round and round, and it's a bit like that model in Preston, where the council have actually formalised that, and it's worked so well. So it's something to bear in mind. All of this stuff we can do ourselves, but from a political level, it's often a policy choice, and we can put pressure on them if we feel like we can take something from that system. If not, let's just spend money with each other. For example, Andrea, you're a patron of Milk the Cow. When I'm in a position to, if you've got a patron thing or I can send people your way, that's what I'll do. Part of what this is sending people your way, and it goes round in that loop, doesn't it? And I think that's one of the things I definitely wanted to get across by doing this with you today. We can make changes by building our communities. Sometimes that can be online, or it can be like locally within the Northeast, and then link that with globalized communities with the same ethos. And I think that's one of the problems at the minute. We feel hopeless, we feel alone, when in reality we're not. And amongst all the political shit that I talk about, I wanted to get people like you to come on and give a bit of uplift, because what you're doing is fantastic, you know.
Can I just make a point there? Bob, you're amazing. Thanks for shopping locally. And we do that, even if it's just in the head, the happy dance, when someone like you comes in and or they're online and makes, you know, they place an order, we get a new, because we have a subscription system and we've got quite a large reach in the Northeast. It's not just Sunderland, Durham, Newcastle, South Tyneside. But every time we get a new subscriber on our veg boxes, it's like,
it's the one, like, isn't it? Every time, same with the patrons. Every time I'm happy, you know.
So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Who does that? It means
That's the one
such
as well.
to small businesses.
Right, we've got Dave Slaz here. I actually know Dave, and he mentioned it further on. I met him through the Motivate project in North Shields that I mentioned. So he's mentioned it earlier.
Oh,
but what
right.
he's saying here is he's visited schools with the Danilo Dolce project in Sicily. Their 6 to 7-year-old kids were amazing with their food knowledge. They put some of our UK teens to shame. I've also found that, like, I've traveled extensively, and it's just like completely different things, and that's cultural there.
Well, we've
Also
got
the
things in,
education system, though, isn't
but we've
it?
got things afoot.
We do.
Have you? What international things?
Yeah, I'm going to make a point about that because it is a really good point that Dave's making. I've got 2 sons. One of them's just left secondary school to go to college. He did not do, I mean, we teach them at home, we work with them at home, but there was no support from the educational system at the time. He did not do 1 ounce of cookery at school. Now, under a new head, I think my youngest son, who's 13, is going to do a term of cookery. So, because not all of these teams, yes, parents should be, and we should be talking and teaching our kids, but some children do not come from that type of background. Where there is food knowledge, it is, you go to McDonald's and all that type of stuff. So if they're not getting it from home, where else are they going to get it from? If the schools have taken, because of this core curriculum, you know, your maths, English, your science, so many other subjects have been taken out of schools because they have to concentrate on these things.
Definitely, and I think from a community perspective, we've been defunded like hugely over the last 12 years or more, like even before that as well. The project I'm talking about there, that Slaz that we met at, that's gone, and it's been gone for a while. It's like a cafe. I don't even know what it is now, actually, because it was European Social Fund money, and there's nothing that's come in to replace it, as we know. So the whole sector's wrecked, and one of those things that one of the benefits of that was people would come in and would do informal learning with people, and it was like, you know, like you say, like a really good positive atmosphere for people to be part of. And I miss that, and I think the country's lost so much by those things. But I think it was a political thing from the government that just didn't want people like us talking to other people and turning them on about other things. They just want them in these little small boxes. Work, eat, sleep, die. That seems to be what
they
want for
poor
us.
people eating shit pizzas from these freezer places for £1. That's what they want, you know. They don't want us learning about it. They don't want us eating healthy food so it makes us thrive and whatever, you know. You know, being in Sunderland, you know, we've got a massive poster on our wall from the European Union, European Structural and Investment Funds, you know. And it's the joy when people, and I know when they come in and I go, they'll go, do you know about us? And they'll go, no. And I'll go, we're not just, that's our new hashtag, we're not just a veg shop. And they see the poster, and some of them, you can see them going, their faces will melt, you know what I mean, at that lovely blue picture with the stars on it. But
we're not, you know, and we're not political.
No, we're not.
So, you know, I know a lot of people who, you know, are for and against, and that's fine. That's, I guess that's not the, well,
that's the thing. I mean, the organisations are apolitical. I mean, I have a personal politics, but when I work in communities, I don't bring them into it. I just do my job and try and like open up opportunities to as many people as I possibly can. I mean, I'm from a working class background, and it's like, you know, when people talk about the poor or poverty, I'm like, I had ice on the inside of my windows growing up until it once again the European Union put money into the area, and we got double glazing. Did you know what I mean? So it does tend to make you sit up and think, like, hold on a minute, these are all choices, aren't they? I mean, like, these are all policy choices. Why were we being left to rot? And but again, like, professionalism is a very big thing, and I very much believe in it, and I don't bring that into work. But this now is my job, and I damn sure friggin' will bring politics in everything that I do, because if we don't take an interest in it as much as we're building stuff outside of it, they're just going to run over the top of us. So I guess for me, our sort of cooperative approach is accountability, because I feel that journalism is letting us down. And we just have to do it ourselves, just like you are. So that's what we're doing. So that's the shared ethos we have.
Can I make a point about politics, though? I feel like when we say politics and we talk politics, this, that, the other, I feel like it drags us back into the system. And I think
agree, mate. It does.
new terminology for it, because I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not playing in this system. And I think I wrote a post on Facebook and I said, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not the other. I'm me, and I'm existing in this world in a way that I don't do anyone harm, and I actually want to create a better place. But I'm not going to do that in the framework of politics, because that's come from someone else. And I think we need to take back that power, but we need to start looking at terminology, I think, as well, because I don't
agree.
want to be saying.
I don't want to be part of politics either, like at all. I fully relate to what you're saying, but at the same time, we're going to watch them while we're building our stuff. We're going to ensure that they're not going to run over the top of us, and we're going to be ruthless about it.
Morning? It was about the part you want Labour to get in, so then everybody can see what a mess that they really are.
Completely, simply because there's no difference. You couldn't get a Rizzler paper between them and the Tories, but we've got, like you see, I get absolutely harangued every day off these centrists going, well, why? Like, just completely, like, what they want me to do, start our own thing. So we do it, and then it's like shitting all over. And I'm like, ideas are fragile. They will die on the vine. But that's what you want, because you want to be plugged back into the matrix, so you are going to be all right. You don't give a shit about working class people or people who are in the shit. You just don't. Because if you did, you would look at the evidence that we produce every day, which I now link them to, and just go, this stuff is incontrovertible, that the Labour Party's probably going to, are going to privatise the NHS, but they're going to do it with a cuddle. You know what I mean? It's the same outcome. Stop trying to flag us.
There's a wonderful state, I think. It's a Native American saying that the left wing and the right wing are from the same bird. Yeah,
totally, mate. I fully agree.
And,
there's too many career.
All the wings.
There is such a thing also as the career left. You do know what I mean by that? People who are like trying to compete for all these like ever decreasing amount of jobs, and they'll sell their souls all the more. You see it all the time. I was debating with Owen Jones the other day on Twitter, and I just like, I can have a look. There was me and a few other people doing it. He's coming out with much shit, but he's just a Labour lifer, isn't he? And he's just like coming out with ever increasingly more amounts of mental gymnastics, and then he's going, why are you getting at me? Why don't you get at politicians? And it's like, because you've got 1 million followers and people like will listen to what you say, and you're telling them to vote Labour. It's
you have to look at 2019, what he did.
Oh God, mate, tell us. And it's
we won't even go there on that one, because
let's not go down that road, because we'll just start.
We're on the same page with that one, I think. But,
and as Joanne was saying, it's great hearing something positive, so let's keep it there. We'll take another couple of comments, and then I'm going to edit this and get it out for you today. So we've got Jacqueline Hemmons. Perhaps it might be an idea to set up a community shop in the local church or whatever, where people could pool their resources to have a local food delivery. What do you think?
Sounds great. Great idea.
Yeah, man. Nice one.
Thanks for sharing.
Charlton Stephen. Shopping local has to be the way ahead. Giving up driving due to eye issues, and now find shopping locally a few times a week now instead of a car full once a week is much easier and better all around. Win.
You know what? When Claire does the deliveries on a Thursday, I did deliveries for a big supermarket during lockdown. It was a little bit different. So we got a customer in the shop, and Claire spends time with the people. When she's out delivering, she's out, and out in the sticks in Durham and stuff. And it's that having that connection with these people as well. And I get not everybody can afford to do it, but it's just, we found a link, and I've got to do some work with it. It seemed to run out of time. And it's for if you take £5, not an extra £5, the £5, say you've got a budget of £30 a week, take £5 of that out and go and do it in a local shop. Let me zoom in this way. Go into a local shop.
It's all right. It's just because it's 2 years, you know what I mean?
Take it into a local shop. And if everybody was to do that, that would generate £13 billion to a local economy.
Exactly.
That is a crazy amount of money.
And that's in the microcosm too. If you look at it from the macro, at like the sort of societal level, and the money going offshore, if that money was brought back in and circulated, nobody needs to be in poverty. Nobody. Like people
13
spend money, it generates tax, that then goes back
Yeah.
in. If we invest in infrastructure, that then creates jobs, who then spend money in restaurants, which creates restaurant workers, and round it goes. But the problem is we've had all of this stuff just dragged out and chucked into the Cayman Islands on the macro level, or people will spend money with the Tesco's of this world and whatever. And that's going off as well because they're not paying hardly any tax, if any tax at all. So the country has been drained, and it's like, I'll be so bold, is an absolute shithole due to lack of investment. And you just have to look at the roads and everything else. That is a choice. It is a choice. But we've been told quite clearly that we're not allowed to have our chocolate via the ballot box. So we've got to do it ourselves. And that's why speaking to you is so positive, because you're doing it. We're doing it as well, if I might big ourselves.
Yeah,
we're doing exactly what you're doing, but just in our sector. We're trying to disrupt the media sector. And we've been successful at it in the past, and we're going to do it again. And we're doing it with the help of you guys. And we're helping you well on the come up and putting these positive stories in front of people's faces, isn't it?
Got to be done. It's really good. I don't watch the news now. I stick you on when I come in. I put YouTube on.
We are the news, man.
I know you want. No, but do you know what I mean? Sorry, that was a bit direct. You know what I mean?
No, I was just joking. It's just you couldn't see me face because of this. We are the news.
What did
Sounded like that, didn't it? My apologies.
So I've got one of those cold in here. Yeah, my other half. Even he watches now, and he's not as politically left as I am, but
sorry, I'll radicalize him if he turns in every day.
I'm
rationalize him.
It
is uncomfortable. So I think, when you do change, you move into and there'll be diagrams about this, but you move into a space of discomfort because you're used to certain ways of doing things, but it's only that discomfort is the growth.
Without a doubt,
I think a lot of people are frightened of that discomfort. But if at the end of that discomfort, you actually have grown into better form of yourself,
Definitely, man. We need adversity to improve as humans, and everything's terrible now, but out of these things traditionally can come beautiful movements and beautiful organizations like yourselves. These are the things that we need, and we can see through all of this darkness that can be opportunity comes from it, because people go, well, I haven't got money, what can we actually do? How can we share the skills and build this thing and make everybody's life better who chooses to engage with it, which I think is a beautiful and brilliant thing personally.
And that's so it's happening at the macro level, and it's happening on the micro level. So it's happening to us as people that we're going through this period of discomfort. But on a macro level, it's happening to society, the world, actually, because it all looks like, can I say shit? Because it does. But you can only change something if you realize it's not good in the first place. You've got to understand.
Oh, without a doubt.
And it's almost all of that is coming to the surface. You need to see it to be able to change it, because it was always there. It was just we didn't see it all. Now we can
completely,
see it.
man. Aye.
Then start to change it, because then you don't have an excuse.
Without a doubt, innit?
Ignorance.
I've got one more question, ladies, just before we go, because I really do need to edit this, and then I've got to go and walk these dogs because they're starting to get a bit. They've been very good when I was preparing, but they've got a grizzle on. So it was just for you, Andrea. You the other day said this. I was a pissed up student on the Digicop section of Hitman and Her. The shame still haunts me today. I would love to find the clip though.
No. I thought you were going to put the clip on there. I was like,
didn't find it. I tried to find it and I couldn't find it. You've got to tell us about the Hitman and Her, man. Come on.
Really awful. No, shall I tell you the story? it was 1990. I was at Huddersfield Polytechnic, as was.
Come on.
And I know. And I got absolutely hammered, like we did in the 90s. That was just, it was great, wasn't it?
Well, I was on the rave, to be fair. I'll just be opening kicking doors off warehouses and putting parties on and that.
No, I was a raver. I got so drunk, and then they tried to push me up to do the dance with Jason Orange and him with that hair. And when you said the blonde hair,
Oh, the
one, I was
dude
like,
with the hair, man. I loved him. He had the hot pants and he was like,
he's amazing. But I couldn't, because I couldn't stand up straight, right? So they said, no, bugger off. Anyway, next thing, I'm pushed, and this lass comes up to me and she went, have you got a chat line? I went, I couldn't even speak. So she went, are you a polar bear? Why? Because I want to break the ice with you. So I went, all right then, okay. So I go
Fantastic.
up, I'm with Pete Waterman and Michaela Strachan,
Come
and this
on.
is the shame of it. They didn't tell you that the microphone was in your face and to speak quietly. So when it was put out live, and then because it was done on like the Friday and it was shown like on the Saturday night, and they've gone, Andrew, where are you from? And I just moved down south from North Wales at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I went,
Mate, honestly, look, I love this story. Like,
what's your favourite type of bloke? I don't know, big and hairy or something. I've said, I don't know.
I'm going to do everything that I can to find this bloody clip, mate, because I remember that thing.
So then they went, what's your chat? What's your favourite bloke? And I got confused and went, polar bear. And they went, oh, right, okay. What's your chat line? Are you a polar bear? Do you want to break the ice with me? And basically they went, oh, go and find somebody. So you had an hour, because it was called Did You Cop? Do you remember it?
I do.
Heard of what you're talking about before. I'm from a different.
No, well, you'll find it. So off you go, and I found this fella, and then he's probably backed out because his girlfriend would see it. So then I was like, oh, Fanny, I've got to go on there now. I've not been able to pull. I'm going to look like a right loo. Next thing, the biggest black man, right, he stood next to me. Lovely fella he was. So he said, I'll come on with you. So he stood next to me, Pete Waterman's here, and I just kept going, like this.
This is mint.
I must have got the cameras wrong. So bearing in mind, I'd said that
You are pasted to this.
I was wasted. So I had said that my favourite man was a polar bear, and I've gone on with I've gone on with the biggest black man you've ever seen. Anyway, the Saturday night comes, and it comes on the telly, and I just died. I just felt sick because a friend had it on, because we used to have black and white tellies back in the day, so you didn't have to pay a lot for your license. So one of the lads had a colour telly, so we watched it on there, and I cried. So I hid in my room for the next week. I had a big lecture. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to show a picture of it later. So I didn't go to the lecture because I was too ashamed, because I thought everybody knows me. I'm that dickhead from the bloody telly. And the tutor that was leading the lecture had gone, oh, did you see the Hitman and her on Saturday night? Did you see that last? Oh my God, what a bellend she was. Starts slagging me off and everything. Somebody went, that was Andrea from the theatre studies group. And I went, oh God, did he? And they went, yeah. See, the following week I went, and he called me down.
Tremendous back in the day story, mate. Right.
He gave me a polar bear, and I've still got it.
Oh, you still got it?
I've still got it. It's on my mantelpiece. It goes with me everywhere, and every time I look at it, I think, oh, bless him. But I'll post a picture of it later.
What about I post a picture for, and we'll stick it on the page. Lovely speaking to you, man. Really has been, and it's just so nice to have like a positive interaction and not talk about all sort of the darkness in the world. You know what I mean? We're really keen to do that more. I realize when I've been getting this new channel going that it's just been like all doom and gloom. So thanks for providing some balance to
Thanks for having us.
And if anybody wants to come in and see us, then come in and see us. And if anybody's getting a veg box from any of these big companies, you need to stop. You need to come and get it from little places like this, because it makes a massive, massive difference.
Definitely. I'll just read this out for the audio people for Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So sunshinecooperative.co.uk. Also, the links will be in the description. I've already got them, so you don't need to send us anything. I'll just put them in the description when I do the edit. But first, I'm going to feed me dogs and walk them, and then I'll get this out for you this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
No problem. All the best to you there.
Everybody. Bye.
Thank you for being a patron as well. Honestly, it makes a world of difference to her. Thank you.
I wish I could afford more. I will do when I make my millions.
when I can afford it, I'll be sending people your way and also like buying from you as well. not that it's expensive. I'm just skint. So it's one
We're
of them.
all skint, lovely, so don't worry.
Tell
But
us about
when
it,
you're in
mate,
the area,
aye.
you need to come over and see us.
Totally, mate. Will do. All the best.
Yeah.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was sunshinecooperative.co.uk there. Make sure you go and check out what they're doing. Obviously, lovely people. And it's just a real honour that they've come on the show and told everything about it. And it's always nice to have a bit of positivity, isn't it? Just before we go, though, patreon.com/Cow Daily if you want to support our work. Also, there's a PayPal link in the description if you want to make a one-off donation to similarly support our work. If you can't afford it, subscribe to via the links in the description, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also just share the work as well. As you can tell, we're trying to build a movement and we're building things outside of the system by linking up with good people like this. So please do go to sunshinecooperative.co.uk for all your needs. See you later. Bye-bye. I am Monday.